Hey there, I'm Beth Connors, a midwife and mom of two, but also your birth bestie. In this podcast, we'll dive deep into everything you need to feel confident, prepared, and in control, from baby bump to delivery room, from practical tips to personal stories. We'll cover it all so you know exactly what to expect every step of the way. Let's get into it. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Your Birth Bestie podcast. Thank you so much for being here for this conversation about your birth support team, specifically the difference between a doula and a midwife. And if you're not familiar with my background, I am a hospital-trained certified nurse midwife, and I left the hospital system in May of 2022 to support women on a more individualized basis through my online childbirth education course and one-on-one coaching program. I also am now attending births as a doula, both in person, whether that's at home, at a birth center, or a hospital, and also have doula clients hundreds of miles away that I am still able to support them through their pregnancy and birth and postpartum journey in a virtual way. So I love that aspect of birth work, being a doula, and I'm actually learning more right now about providing home birth midwifery services and supporting moms in that setting, which I am really excited about. And as a hospital-trained midwife, I didn't have to attend home births for my certification, but I am loving it so much. And in whatever setting I am supporting a family in, I think it's such a huge asset to have experience in both scenarios and individualize that experience for parents. And in this episode, I will share with you the roles of both midwives, there's several different kinds of midwives, and doulas, how they are similar and different, and then how to decide for yourself if you are interested in one, or maybe both, or neither. So let's first talk about what a doula actually is. And there are birth doulas, postpartum doulas, bereavement doulas, but I will be focusing on birth doulas today. And doula actually means a woman who serves, and that's really what they do. Doulas are not medical professionals that have to go through a traditional college education with a degree, and really there's actually no certifying board out there that regulates who becomes a doula. So anyone, mostly women, could say that they are a doula and attend births and support moms. And while this sounds sketchy to some people, I think it makes sense because it doesn't matter what credentials or experience somebody has. It's really up to the birthing person to choose their own birth team. So even though I would recommend for aspiring doulas and support people to become educated and prepared with evidence-based information and skills to help mom during delivery, it actually isn't necessary. So if you're looking for a doula, keep that in mind as well. Knowing about their background is really important, but also being open-minded to their individual personality and their skill set, regardless of what training they took, because it's not regulated. And there are other important factors on whether someone will be a good fit for you or if they won't be during your birth. But most often you will look for someone who is trained and experienced in providing emotional and physical support during pregnancy, labor, and delivery. And with these qualifications, let's talk about the incredible support doulas are able to provide. They are really like your personal cheerleaders, offering emotional reassurance, encouragement, and guidance throughout your entire birthing journey. And obviously, next to your partner or father of the baby, they also know every wish and fear that you have going into birth and to help you navigate everything. A doula can help you feel calm, empowered, and in control, and important in offering comfort, massage, position suggestions, and relaxation techniques to help with labor. It is another person that is there to remind you that you are strong and capable no matter how tough things are going to get. They can really help you stay focused on reaching the goals that you have worked many months for and preparing for and perfecting. So you can probably already tell that having a doula can be great because they are really the expert in labor support and a continuous resource throughout your entire pregnancy and birth and postpartum. There are actually a lot of benefits of having a doula, with studies showing that it leads to a reduced need for medical interventions like epidurals or C-sections, and can also lead to shorter labor times, fewer complications, and just an overall increased happiness with your birthing experience. My favorite part about supporting moms is helping them navigate each step during pregnancy, birth, and postpartum, and really anticipating things to feel more confident and in control, but also being their constant, that reassuring presence during the challenging and amazing moments of pregnancy and childbirth and motherhood. So doulas are all about creating a space of comfort, trust, and empowerment during one of life's most amazing moments, and I really recommend for everyone to consider it. Doulas are usually independently contracted or part of a group or a collective. It just depends. But there are also variations of services they provide within their scope as well. So like me, I have in-person and virtual support services through pregnancy. I'm on call to support moms for birth, and I'm a resource postpartum as well. But some moms only want the education piece, so they enroll in my online childbirth course, and we meet a few times in person or on Zoom. Or some moms just want someone to text before and after prenatal appointments. So I'm there for that. It is really just about meeting you where you are at and figuring out what support fits best in your own goals. So personally, I am one to turn inward during labor and birth and want as few people around me and certainly not touching me. It sounds bad maybe, but that's how I cope best. So a doula for me, I didn't think was beneficial. However, if I would have connected with somebody during my pregnancy to help me prepare and meet me before my first baby was born and be a resource for me during birth, you bet that would have 100% saved me from my traumatic first hospital birth story. It was something I just didn't know about, but would have been so nice to have backup support when needed, especially for my husband. That is something I work with dads too a lot, is how to support their partners in labor if they don't have a doula. The more prepared they can both be is so great. And then, of course, that extra in-person or virtual birth support aspect is always available for people that would like more support in the actual birth itself. So there are really so many options. I'm sure you can find a doula in your area if you're looking for in-person support. There are many ways you can find them. So if you need help finding a doula, I can help connect you as well, no matter where you are. I would love to help you with that. Or if you are in the Lake Country, Wisconsin area, I see clients all over the area in person and then as well virtually. So lots of options there for whoever you are able to connect with and feel would be a good support for you. So now that you understand what a doula is, let's talk about what a midwife is. And a midwife literally means with woman, although that isn't very helpful in describing the role of a midwife because a doula is also somebody that's with women supporting them too, right? But I think it is a nice reminder that midwives really strive to be fully present for women during birth and pregnancy and beyond. So for a better explanation, midwives are skilled healthcare professionals who specialize in pregnancy, labor, and birth. They are all about providing personalized, holistic care and ensuring a safe and healthy experience for both mom and baby. It's important to mention, and something I get asked a lot about being a certified nurse midwife. Am I a nurse or am I a midwife or a home birth midwife? Can I work in the hospital? Can I deliver babies at home? It is very confusing, I get it. So I will take the time here to explain a little bit more. So not all midwives have the same education and ability to practice in every setting. So there are certified nurse midwives, CNMs, and that's me, who are registered nurses with advanced training in midwifery. So I did 4 years of undergraduate schooling, 2 years to get my master's in nursing, and then an additional 2 years of advanced master's level midwifery education to earn my special certificate in midwifery. So CNMs have to be nurses first and then go that path. And if I would have known that I wanted to be a midwife right away, that this is what I wanted to do, I could have saved some time and money going to nursing school first for my undergraduate and getting my RN, but that wasn't the case. I actually got a bachelor's in human development and family studies, but I'm not even mad about it. It was an extra year that it took me to do that, led me to this amazing profession as a midwife that I would have otherwise not known existed. So everything happens for a reason. I truly believe that, and it all works out. So then there are direct entry midwives who go through midwifery training without being nurses first. And you may see their credentials as certified professional midwives or CPMs or certified midwives, CMs. And the education structure is similar to certified nurse midwives, but they are trained on community or home births and are not actually affiliated with the hospital system. There are also lay midwives who don't actually have any formal certification or training, but they call themselves midwives, which is not legal, but it is something that happens. And so CNMs are the only midwives that are able to attend births in the hospital because of their medical background and training as a nurse, and they can attend births in birth centers and at home as well as the hospital. So depending on the CPM though, if you had a home birth route and then maybe you were transferred, they will also support you in the hospital if that happens, and they will help you through all of those transitions and changes of plans if that is something to happen. So that is great, especially if you were planning for something different. It can be confusing, all of these different kinds of midwives, but I think it's important to understand when you're choosing your own birth support team. And as a side note too, I want to say that all midwives aren't created equally, just like anything else. There are good and not so good professionals in every area of the world, every profession, not just in the hospital. So, of course, a lot of variables are out there, but I wanted to focus on the potential of midwifery care in different settings and what that can look like too. So midwives can work in different settings, like we talked about, and tailor their care to your own preferences. There is usually more flexibility in home births, but remember too that nothing is required in the hospital. You do have personal autonomy and legal rights that have to be respected as well. There are a lot more recommendations and access to medical interventions when you're in the hospital, but you have to be informed in the risks and the benefits, understand the actual recommendation being given, and then consent to it for it to be a part of your birth story. So many moms don't know that they have an option or that they can ask clarifying questions in that moment. So just remember that if you're in the hospital, whether it's by choice or you're transferred or that's what you choose for insurance purposes, financial reasons, you can have the experience that you want in any of those places, knowing that you have rights to personal autonomy and informed decision making. So hopefully that in itself is empowering, no matter if you are planning a home birth and you end up transferring to the hospital, or if you are planning a hospital birth from the start, a scheduled C-section, really whatever scenario, it can still be your choice and you can still have an amazing, beautiful birth in any of those places. But just from typical scenarios and what you probably hear, if you want less restrictions, a homey, more comfortable atmosphere, a home birth with a midwife would be a great option for you. Often having a doula would be recommended too as extra support in your home. Then for a balance between a home birth and a hospital birth, considering a birth center where midwives often practice is also an option. Making note too that most hospitals call their labor and delivery units the birthing center, quote unquote. But don't let that confuse you for a freestanding birth center that is not part of the hospital, because these are two completely different things. And then for those of you who prefer a hospital setting, but still want that personalized midwifery care, many hospitals do have midwives on staff. So the flexibility is yours and you can have an individualized, beautiful birth in all settings. And something to know about too, and why I love being a midwife, is the comprehensive care that we are able to offer. There is variations, of course, with birth setting, but typically in the midwifery model, continuity of care and building trust with moms is so important that we don't just show up when you're in labor and help you have your baby. It's really more about supporting you during pregnancy, having prenatal checkups, providing education and guidance through literally every point, and then actually helping you create a personalized birth plan make informed decisions about your birthing experience during labor, assisting with monitoring and providing a range of medical and emotional support during labor. And as you can see, there are some similarities too with doulas, because a lot of the time you choose a doula early in pregnancy and they meet you a few times to provide education. They're also on call for your birth, and then also will meet with you after you have your baby postpartum and check in on you to make sure everything is okay. This is typically standard as well for doulas. Okay, so if you're still not 100% clear, let's talk about the differences between doulas and midwives and give you a little bit more insight on the roles of each. So, like I've mentioned, both are incredible assets during pregnancy and childbirth, but they do also have distinct roles and focus areas. The one significant difference between a midwife and a doula is that midwives provide medical care for you during pregnancy and your birth and the immediate postpartum period, where doulas provide you and your family with emotional, informational, and physical support during pregnancy, birth, and the immediate postpartum period. So you can think of your doula as the ultimate birth cheerleader and emotional anchor. Doulas provide both emotional and physical support throughout your birth journey. They're there to hold your hand, offer soothing massages, remind you of your strength when labor gets really hard. And while they can offer a wealth of knowledge and comfort techniques, they aren't able to provide medical care. So think of them as your best friend who knows all the right things to say and to do to help you through your labor. And then on the other hand, midwives are really tuned into your medical well-being during pregnancy and childbirth. They are trained healthcare professionals who can perform medical exams, provide medications and clinical care to you and your baby. And they are also your go-to for monitoring your health and your baby's health and managing any complications that may come up. While midwives can offer emotional support, and usually this part does overlap with the care of a doula, their primary role is to provide safe and competent medical care. And really the exciting part is that you don't have to choose one or the other. Having both a doula and a midwife can be really beneficial. Imagine having that emotional rock by your side while also having the peace of mind that comes with medical expertise. It's a powerful combination. Actually, some women find that this support system enhances their birthing experience, really providing the best of both worlds. So now that we have explored the roles of doulas and midwives, hopefully that's more clear by now. And I wanted to talk about how to select the perfect support team for you and for your unique journey. Whether it's a doula, a midwife, or both, or neither, your choice should be a reflection of your specific needs and your preferences. So first of all, think about what you're looking for in your birth support team. Do you need emotional and physical support, or are you seeking comprehensive medical care? Where are you planning to give birth? Do you feel like you would benefit from additional support during pregnancy and birth to prepare for that experience? It's really about just understanding your own desires, and that is the foundation of your decision. And remember, as you're deciding, compatibility is really key. You want to feel a strong connection with your chosen support team, whether that's a doctor, midwife, doula, or a combination of these. You will be sharing a deeply personal experience, so it's really important to have trust and rapport with the people that are caring for you. Also consider the experience and credentials of your doulas and midwives. Ask about their background, training, their experiences that they've had. Are they certified? Do they have a good track record? Trust your instincts and choose professionals that you feel the most comfortable with and connected to in regards to your values. And then when it comes to choosing the right doula or midwife, interviews or free consultations are a great option, and most of them offer these. So take the time to meet and talk with them. Ask about their philosophy, approach, and how they handle different birth scenarios. Ask about their availability and how they plan to support you individually. And don't be afraid to ask for references or read testimonials from other moms that they have supported. It is your birth experience, and you have every right to be thorough in your selection process. So, as you prepare for your birth, remember that choosing the right support team is a highly personal decision. Trust your instincts, take your time, and remember that you're not alone on this journey. Thank you so much for joining me today. I would love to hear from you if you have any questions about choosing a support team, or if you're interested in learning more about my in-person support services near Milwaukee, Wisconsin, or virtual support if you are in any other place of the world. You can find me on Instagram at BethConnors_CNM, or send me an email at hello@bethconnors.com. I wish you all of the best in finding the best support team for you, and we'll see you back here next Tuesday. Bye, everyone.